I've barely worn this at all and I've already got quite a few loose threads, and I'm not even sure what to do with them. Like, do I cut them off? Do I just leave them there? So let's talk about this fabric. This is Polytech Alpha Direct, and you may have seen some of the bigger companies using this in recent years, like Rab, Arc'teryx, Dynafit, all starting to use this particular fabric. And if you're a thru hiker, you've no doubt seen cottage brands using Alpha Direct to chop up simple 5-piece hooded sweatshirts like this. And in this video, we're going to get into why or why not you might want one.
My wife calls it my Muppet sweatshirt.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Muppet stuff.
So Polytech Alpha was originally designed for special forces units working in Afghanistan. Now, because of the desert environment, high altitude, the stop-start nature of combat, they needed a fabric that would keep them warm during the night, cool and dry during the day. So something that could wick moisture very quick, and also something that was very light. And the result of that was Polytech Alpha. But when mountain and outdoor companies started to get a hold of this fabric, they started to use it in many different ways. And Polytech saw an opportunity to create something that could be worn just as a next to skin layer. And that's why they created Polytech Alpha Direct, which is the product that I'm using now. So this is the G-Pax Explorer Alpha. It's made with 180 GSM Alpha Direct. And then I also have this one. This one is from Farpoint, which are a US cottage brand making ultralight gear as well. And this one is made from 90 GSM Alpha Direct. So most of the time I use these as a direct layer, meaning it's my next to skin layer, but sometimes I'll wear a base layer underneath. It just depends what I'm doing on the day. So that's the great thing about this fabric. It's really adaptable. It can be used in many different situations, but you do have to kind of know when and where it's going to be best. So we've already covered some of the pros. This is an all-season active insulation layer. It's extremely fast wicking, it's ultralight, it's breathable, it's hydrophobic, it's very compressible, and of course it has that extremely high warmth to weight ratio. But let's look at some of the cons that are conveniently left off the Polytech website, but are essential for you to understand before you start thinking about buying a product that is made with Polytech Alpha Direct. So let's talk about the first and most obvious con when it comes to Polytech Alpha Direct, and that is that it's expensive. Obviously, when it comes to cottage brands, it is being handmade, but I think simply sourcing the fabric in 2023 is a big part of the expense.
When I first started, price per yard, almost half of what it is now.
The second drawback with Polytech Alpha Direct is that it is not durable at all. Every time you sit on a picnic table or bench, there's a chance a nail might catch. And God forbid if you have Velcro anywhere near this thing, you're gonna have threads coming out everywhere. See this little guy here? That's what you gotta worry about. It's gonna start hooking at it. Check it out, it's already, anything will catch on this thing. So you gotta be really, really careful with it. Like, I love it, but if you're not the kind of person that's gonna be really pedantic and careful about stuff, then it's probably not for you. I'm trying to become that person, but I'm not quite there yet. So if you're expecting this to be like a windproof layer, absolutely not. Wind will just tear through it. So keep in mind with Alpha Direct, it has like absolutely no stretch. So if you're not sure about the size, definitely go for a size up. That way you'll have a little bit more room, because this one is a little snug, as you can see. But of course, this will all come down to when you're going to be using this product, where and what season. That is the key question to really ask yourself if you're thinking about getting something made with this product. So I guess the main thing about this fabric is that it's meant to be used as an active layer. Now, usually when I start a hike, I will go for the be bold, start cold philosophy. But with something like this, if it's cold, you can start with this on and probably keep it on because it breathes so well. Now, I haven't used this much through summer, but I can definitely see myself wearing this well into the shoulder season, spring, autumn, and perhaps even in winter as well. So if you're taking all this into account and you think an Alpha Direct hoodie would be good for you, then the next obvious question is, where would you get one? Well, for the most part in the States, I think that's pretty easy to find. Just about every cottage company is sewing these now. In Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Asia, it's going to be a lot more difficult. And I managed to find just two. The first one was from Mercantile Ultralight. That is a cottage brand ultralight hiking wholesaler. They're based in France. But This one I got from G-Packs. Again, they're made in Italy, and G-Packs make a whole bunch of great stuff. I also got a hold of one of their backpacks, which I'm gonna review soon. So if you are in Europe and you're looking to get a hold of an Alpha Direct sweater, if you wanna try it out, I would definitely recommend checking out G-Packs. So I think the main thing here is that this isn't really a beginner product. I wouldn't recommend anyone who is new to hiking go out and buy a garment like this. You might end up being in a bit of a tricky situation. A lot of the garments you buy in regular stores are so good for beginners because they can be used in many different situations and they're very adaptable, whereas something like this has a very specific and defined purpose. So the thing is with this fabric, the first thing you notice is like it's so soft. Like you put it on and it immediately feels like this cozy blanket. People will come up to you and say hi and touch you. Then they just won't stop touching you. Looking at me now, I kind of do look like a penis, but it's totally worth it.